10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the House of Marks podcast. I am here joined by two of the most evil menaces to society. The first guy I'd like to introduce is named Weston. This man is wanted in 7 different countries for war crimes and crimes against humanity. I mean, the shit Putin's doing in Ukraine is nothing compared to what this evil fuck did. And then the guy next to him. Oh my God, he's a fucking piece of shit. You know this guy, he opened up an abortion clinic, but it was all a bunch of shit. And when he would go to give you the abortion, he didn't give you an abortion. He fucking genetically cloned the child, so you had twins. Called it a 2-for-1 special. It was fucking wild.
Oh, the abortion thing was
about. All right, and myself, I am the greatest man to ever walk the face of the earth, a 4-time Nobel Prize winner, Cody. All right, guys, how y'all doing?
I don't know if abortion is something we should be joking about right now, especially putting my name associated with it.
Why? I thought it was funny.
It was funny, sure, but I don't know if you know what's going on.
Hey, friends, how you guys doing?
We here at the Heel Turn Podcast do whatever you want. We don't really want to talk about it. Let's talk about wrestling.
No, whoa.
Did I say Heel Turn Podcast? I'm sorry. Old habits die hard.
And we're throwing in the Heel Turn theme song right now. Anyway, we need to come up with actually a song for this podcast. I need to do that. I'm sorry. I've been.
No, you're good, man. Dude, I've been promising to work on that little animation thing for a while too, and I haven't. And all I got to do is finish like one part of it, and then I should be done.
Oh yeah, we'll develop more into this, as we go. Of course, that goes without saying. But I also want to just say, welcome back. Yeah, welcome back to the House Marks podcast. Every Tuesday we give you our possibly shitty but very uncensored and fun takes on this week of AEW shows. How you guys doing?
Valid takes.
I am. Weston, I'm pretty pissed off.
Why is that?
Because there's a lot of shit I got to say about this week, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, sometimes we like to throw the shit out of order depending on what comes up. Scorpio Sky versus Frankie Kazarian, motherfucker, that is last because we are going to do that last because I am going to rage at the end of this podcast.
Per usual, we've usually been saving the worst for last. It seems like.
Ironically, the worst for last usually has something to do with the main event of Rampage every Friday. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's usually what it is. Is like we start raging over the last bit of Rampage always because it always has something to do with something that we're just pissed off about.
Yeah. Well, how did Dynamite start off this week?
Dynamite started off with a pretty banger of a match. Dynamite started off with Adam Cole versus Dak Harwood.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Good match.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match.
Solid.
It honestly went the way I expected.
Part of me for like half a moment was just thinking that like maybe they were going to give Dax that win because he was that old school style like Owen. But Adam Cole got the win at the end of it. I thought it was a fucking great match. It's probably one of the best matches of that night, honestly.
Well, with Dax, I wouldn't say the best match of the night. At least that's my opinion.
One of the best matches. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a good one. The Owen Hart tournament is actually it's been producing some pretty good matches.
Yeah.
It hasn't been your usual like run of the mill tournament. I feel like they've been doing a really solid job with it thus far.
Absolutely. The matches have been stellar, if you will.
I agree. What I gotta say though, I'm not surprised by the Adam Cole result, mainly because I can understand where you're coming from and can see that maybe, since Dak Harwood does wrestle, with a lot of old school style, they
made it convincing for a minute. They made it quite convincing, especially with like I think isn't Bret Hart like their fucking manager like in the Indies right now? Apparently, he got like a really lucrative deal to not show up on AEW because he's still under like a WWE Legends contract to some degree.
Well, I don't know if you heard this about FTR on the Indies, but they're supposed to be having a match. I forgot when, but it was announced
with Ric Flair.
It'll be a 6-man with Ric Flair.
Well, so that's a heavy rumor. Like, it hasn't technically.
Well, Ric Flair,
confirmed, but
confirmed
it's pretty much
he's coming out of retirement for one more match.
Yeah, but he didn't say that match specifically. That match is just heavily like rumored. I will say, like, I think that would be fucking awesome, though.
Well, what they're looking at is Dax Harwood, FTR and Ric Flair versus the Rock and Roll Express and somebody else, because the Rock and Roll Express is kind of on their little farewell tour.
Yeah. Did you see Jay Lethal training with Ric Flair?
Yeah, it looked rough. I mean, you know,
honestly, though, like, I was kind of impressed, though. Like, I mean, Lethal was obviously, like, you know, selling it all, but, like, it's crazy that, you know, in a tag team match, right? Like, if Flair really wants to come back, if he doesn't want to look absolutely terrible, a tag match is the way to go, because he can come in and do his couple of spots, and then, you know, everybody gets the nostalgia. I don't really think he needs to come back at all, honestly, at this fucking point. You put in your fucking time, man. But
give him a championship.
Give him the AEW championship.
Yeah, make him a 17.
Essentially, give him the AEW championship. Just reunite the Four Horsemen, but in
give him the
AEW.
FTW championship.
No, give him the pure championship. What are you
It would be
about?
that they would make the FTR championship and they would give it to just a bunch of old farts that influenced them.
Yeah, they booked their winners. Oh man.
Arn Anderson wins it, you know, like
I got the Glock. Get off the ground and don't get up.
Don't call me Arn, call me Glock Anderson.
You know, I was
Billy the Gun.
The Young Buck photo was my second choice for this. Originally I was going to have the there was an All Elite meme. I think that was the Instagram page. I think is All Elite memes. There was a post that they had on there right after that promo where he said he gets the Glock, and it showed a younger picture of Arn Anderson with a Glock in his hand, and it said Arn Anderson's Glock is All Elite. And I was going to have that as my Skype photo, but I couldn't fit it onto the thing, and I was
That's hilarious. If you find that, send that to me. I'll throw that on the Instagram. I need to use the Instagram. I promised I was going to share my WWE games, and I just want to quickly say I'm still going to go do that. I'm still going to put that on the Instagram. I've just been really behind.
Post the picture I put. Post that picture I sent you. The fucking Hook and Danhausen.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah, can we talk about that real quick?
Give me a second.
Or is that later?
Let's just talk about it later, because I think because I really want to get into the next match.
Okay. What's the next match?
It is CM Punk versus John Silver.
Oh boy.
John Silver.
Oh my God!
Johnny Hungy,
y'all
dude.
get y'all opinion, because I have. Oh
Johnny
my God! It was so
fucking
funny.
starve. Okay, I don't like him. I don't like it.
Okay, so I will say most of all, not like John Silver has like the biggest personality in the world, but I really think straight up he could have like a run for like a mid-card title at some point. I'm just gonna say that, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I think the dude's mad talented.
I can see that they had like a cruiserweight.
Yeah. So okay, moving on to the actual match itself. Fine match. It was about what I expected, but it's cool to see Punk out there. What did you think about Cody?
So the first thing I got to say that I thought was funny, and it's kind of going to go into the thing next. Well, in a couple segments, but if you noticed, CM Punk came out in a fucking the local. I don't know. I don't watch hockey, so I don't know what's
the Islanders. He came out in a New
he came out in the Islanders jersey to try to be like, hey, I want to get the fans happy because I'm facing your hometown boy. They booed the ever living shit out of him.
Oh yeah, they booed the fuck out of him.
You know, you sometimes get the guys who are like, oh, I'm going to cheer for Punk, but I'm going to cheer for this guy harder. No, they fucking went again. It was funny. But then the other thing that I thought was weird was him and MJF both wore the fucking Islander jerseys. That seems so fucking weird to me.
No, I think you read that wrong, dude. If I'm going to be honest with you, I think he was leaning into the heat, and that was the point of MJF coming out in his as well to get the crowd over. I think that was all planned. He was definitely leaning into the heat that night.
Planned, dude.
Well, to me, I feel like
he had this like smoke smile on his face the entire time, though. Like, yeah, he wasn't trying to get the fans like to cheer for him. He was leaning into it, and that's why after the show, did you see that segment where Hook tossed him over?
Yeah, I saw that.
put him in the. He was leaning into the heat the whole time, and the crowd was cheering when he got fucked up by Hook, and when they went off the air.
Well, the other thing, you could have given John Silver a little more time. Goddamn.
I will say, not faulting you for thinking that, but I definitely think he was leaning into the heat, not necessarily trying to win the crowd over there.
The reason I have a hard time believing that is just because if I was going to lean into the heat, if I went to a show in New Orleans and I'm not from New Orleans, but I'm facing like Ricky Starks, then I'm going to wear an Atlanta Falcons jersey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes sense to me.
But I don't know. Maybe it was.
Yeah. If he wanted to really play the heat, he would come in wearing like a Chicago Blackhawks jersey or something because he's from Chicago.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know, he definitely didn't. I don't know though. I just when he came out and the crowd was booing him, I was like, oh, I think he's leaning into it.
Maybe
he had a face about it the whole time. You know, he didn't look.
Well, I think he saw it coming. That's why
really
I
easy
thought
to
the
tell
Islander jersey was kind of just an attempt to see if he can get cheers because they're booking him. I mean, they've made it clear they're booking him in his match against Hangman as the babyface.
Oh yeah,
why I think he's
so unlikable in the last two promos he shot.
Well, he went straight heel.
Yeah.
Which
is the right way to go though, because he's going to lose the title inevitably. So try to get some heat on you. Try to get some traction. So this Punk match, even though you lose, you can put on a 5-star match with Punk. That'll toss you up, in people's eyes, and then now you can start a heel run, which you've never really productively had yet at this point with Hangman.
Let's just hope to God that they don't book it the way that the way that I would assume they would book Hangman, which is I let the fans down, I let myself down.
No, I think that shit's over with. I think.
I'm praying to God it is, because dude, it's so fucking bland.
If they go back to him being all emotional like that, his character's dead. Like, call it, just put a fucking nail in the coffin at this point. I think he needs a heel run. I think that would add credibility to his name at this point, because we've seen everything that he can do with a belt, being a babyface. It's time, lose against Punk, and then fucking, Punk try to shake his hand with the title, and fucking Hangman fucking kicks him in between the legs, you know what I mean? Walks out. I am straight up.
It feels like a very short-lived reign, but it feels like that it's gone its course.
It's totally gone its course. And him as a babyface has gone its course, too, I think.
It's hit the ceiling.
It just, there was, he's the guy. There was somebody else that was trying. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm going to tell a story. Story time with Adam Cole, baby. Okay.
Cody Mitchell, baby.
Yeah, Cody Mitchell, baby. Okay. So, do you, Nathan, I know you don't because you and me talked about this the other day. Weston, do you know do you remember Colin Delaney?
No. I don't know who the fuck
okay. So Colin Delaney was a guy who was a guy. He was a guy from the Indies. He was the original James Ellsworth. He was a little dude from the Indies that I don't remember who his first match was against, but he jobbed out to whoever it was. And the guys liked him, so they said, we're going to offer you a deal. If you win a match, just one match, you earn an ECW contract. Then Colin Delaney, this little skinny, indie-looking wrestler, not even like one of the cool indie wrestlers. This dude looked like James Ellsworth kind of did. And he went on a series of just getting his ass whipped by a bunch of different guys. Now, the journey kind of, at the end, I found myself kind of invested, oh, shit, I'm excited. Because he finally, they're building it for him to finally beat somebody and earn that contract. And eventually, he faces Armando Estrada, who comes out, he was Umaga's manager. He then became the ECW GM, comes out, ripped as shit. And Colin Delaney beats him. Colin Delaney earns an ECW contract. The fans are excited. It was this big emotional moment. Tommy Dreamer at one point took him under his wing. And then what happened is nothing. They had nothing for him. The journey was his story. The journey is what made him. Now, the reason I bring that up is Adam Page The biggest thing about him was the journey to beating Kenny Omega, his former friend and tag partner, and winning the AEW title. And when he won it, the problem was you didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, like he completely lost traction. It felt like his whole championship reign was like lukewarm.
Absolutely.
And look, I want to say, for anybody who may hear this, I am not trying to say Adam Page is a bad wrestler. He's shit. I don't like him. I think he's a good wrestler. His Texas death match with Adam Cole was fucking awesome. Here's the problem. It's just what you've given me isn't good, and I don't want to see it anymore. I'm ready for Punk.
Yeah. Punk, there's so many dream matches that can go down with Punk while he has the belt. I really think he can go on like probably his best run yet with this fucking championship around his waist.
Yeah. Right. What else though? Because Cody and I talked about this before, not like, I don't know, a couple days ago or something. I don't want it to be against Punk necessarily, but Malachi Black needs a world title. I don't think he should go for like a TNT title or something. I don't mean to dick ride, but I just was thinking about it. Like, that needs to happen eventually, right? Like,
give it a few months.
Fuck yeah.
Give Punk the belt for a few months and slowly build up Malachi, and then give him the belt. I could see Punk losing to like a younger guy who's gonna get a push after. You know what I mean? And I think Malachi would be close to the front of the line there.
Yeah, let him have his rivalries. Let him fizzle out with Death Triangle and Varsity Blondes because the House of Black is so badass that they're beefing with two factions right now.
And the problem is their beef. Like, I mean, the Death Triangle thing's cool, but like, yeah, the whole Varsity Blonde shit needs to fucking end because like they're just fucking jobbers. Like the whole feud they've had has been. I mean, I'm kind of invested, but I think that's just me dick riding for Malachi Black a little bit because I. Best with him.
Well, I'm invested because I want Julia Hart to join the House of Black.
They need to do that. They need to basically pull that plug. Put her with the House of Black.
That needs to happen. The group needs to evolve. They need at least a fourth. I think they need at least a fourth guy too if they're going to actually dominate because they need someone to go after the mid card title. You know, and I can see fucking Brody King and Murphy being a fucking dominant tag team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
definitely,
because it's like I know that Kings of the Black Throne, but it's like, are you really are you going to get a world title contender for the fourth guy? Like Murphy sure could be a great TNT champion, but I think he would benefit more being in a tag team with Brody King. Plus, I think it would look nicer too because that belt would look really nice around Malachi Black's waist. I just want to say it would look real good over his shoulder. When he's wearing that black.
Man, speaking of, I mean, since we're talking about Malachi, I don't want to get too far in, but
we'll get into him a little. Actually, well, I'll tell you what, guys. Instead of going into next, why don't we just go into the Death Triangle versus Butcher and Blade that was on Rampage? We can just do that right now.
Okay, so I do want to briefly touch on this match. So, as far as the match, great. Here's one that I'm dead serious about. I say this about a lot of guys, but I really fucking mean it. Pac needs a title run in AEW.
Yes, now,
the dude is a fucking beast. Every one of his matches are like fucking pinpoint. All of his spots are so fucking good. He's so consistent. Like, give him the fucking TNT belt already. Like, let him take that shit off of Scorpio Sky whenever they pull that plug.
That shit, because dude, that bitch is getting thrown around.
Would make that fucking belt like a big deal again. Because Sky isn't, and fucking, and you know, obviously Sammy fucking didn't after so long.
Sammy and Scorpio have been playing hot potato with that belt since Cody left, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, dude, move on already.
Do you not as far as Death Triangle goes, and that match, I enjoyed the match.
Yeah, no, that match was fucking great.
I thought the match was good. My thing is, dude, the only thing I'm super invested in this whole rivalry is I want Julia Hart to join the House of Black.
Yes,
that's kind of the. it's not even that I dislike Death Triangle. I'm just tired of seeing them against the House of Black. Not saying end it now, but I don't care. I'm not invested in it.
They haven't had a conclusion for that yet, though, because it's like every match that they've had together, just one of them gets injured, and that's how the match ends. That's happened because Fennec or Pac
the
got
whole
injured
feud
first.
got basically interrupted, so now they're just continuing it, and now it feels awkward because it's just like, oh, we're still doing this. Oh, okay, right,
yeah,
right.
I love everything that they're doing with the House of Black. I can't stress that enough. But it is kind of getting repetitive, mainly in the sense of real world injuries or whatever happening, and then they just added to this. So he got blinded. It's like, oh, okay, cool. He got sprayed with the mist. That's awesome. He planned that before that, or did he get injured in the match? What the fuck happened? Why did they leave?
It's weird because
I like the Penta Oscuro, or however you pronounce it. Don't shame me. Don't cancel me on Twitter. But the Penta's gimmick that he has right now, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I just it's weird because I know all of us have our like favorites.
Yeah.
Right now, in the show, but ultimately, like, I don't know, I just really want to see House of Black do something interesting because, like, I've been fucking bored every time they show up on screen, honestly, and it's nothing against any of the talent there. I think Malachi's a hell of a wrestler, and I think they have the power behind them, but all their promos and segments fucking bore the shit out of me.
I like their promos. Mainly just because, again, it's the way that they I think the way that they present themselves is very interesting because it's stuff that you can tell, like, because I was a fan of Malachi Black back when he was a Howler, and you could tell that there was a lot of things that he wanted to do in WWE that they restricted him.
I just feel like they haven't like passed up this like plateau they're at. Like, I feel like they're on this level and they've stayed at this level for like the last fucking month and a half, and it's like you need to make them like more destructive, and you need to make them more of an entity than fight beating up jobbers like the Varsity Blondes or Death Triangle. Like, if you're really trying to make this hit home, you know what I mean? Because like some people are buying into it, and I have no problem with it, but I personally just think some of the segments have gotten kind of repetitive, and I feel like they could do more with them. You know what I mean?
I mean, who knows? Maybe they're all just trying to culminate it at Double or Nothing, because that's coming up in a couple weeks.
Maybe, I hope so. I really hope so, because they need to do something big.
I like what's going on, but it's like it definitely is like I think it's time for them to start looking, not necessarily getting title shots, but looking towards titles. Like they need to start
picking up more significant wins. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They need to start looking towards getting title, because if we're looking at kayfabe, right? The whole idea of the ranking system that is not real. They need to get significant wins to get up in the rankings, right? So it's like they should start looking towards that a little bit, and that's Malachi Black is he's just up there for me, man. I always was obsessed with him once I learned he exists. It was like Kenny Omega. I just found him and was like, yep, that guy's fucking cool. Like, I want to fucking watch this guy wrestle. He's fucking cool.
Dude, we need to see Omega return. Shit.
Yeah.
Forbidden Door, man, I'm telling you.
You think?
I think so.
I mean, it would be a good spot, especially with his work with New Japan and everything. I think it would be a cool culmination there.
Let me say this: if you don't have an AEW, you don't have Kenny Omega at an AEW New Japan Supercard, then that's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
you're right. I really didn't think about that, but you're totally right. What about the next match?
All right, the next match we got is Danhausen versus Tony Nese.
Oh God, who wants to start this one? I got some opinions on this.
Yay! We can talk about Hookhausen. That sucks.
I'm not gonna lie. I
like it.
I like it. I was not prepared for Danhausen to get fucking squashed.
Okay, yeah. So
in his debut match,
I know.
So for that,
I had to do some research and see his old other matches in like the indies to know if he could actually wrestle, and he fucking can. So some people were saying that he was injured when he was signed, and some people were thinking he might still be injured.
He was injured.
Some people are thinking he might still be injured. That's why they ended it so quick.
Well, that's bullshit because he had matches on the Indies. So
no. I'm saying with his match with Tony Nese, the reason why it was a squash match, some people are saying is because he could possibly still be injured a little bit, or like just healing up in time for Double or Nothing. Personally, I know Hookhausen's really fucking silly, but I would tell you what, it's making me like Hook finally, because I haven't really bought into Hook that much, and I think it's kind of giving me like a quirky little thing. I don't think it needs to last long, but I'm enjoying it so far. I don't know why, but I'm enjoying it so far. I don't know.
I don't get it. I'm not.
It's silly. It's just like it's the comedic thing,
but it's like they're trying. It almost seems like they're trying to do like they think it's like a rock and sock connection type thing, but it's not billed like that. Like it feels weird.
It feels weird because neither of them are like stars yet in AEW. And when the Rock and Sock, it was more like it was Mankind. It was The Rock. They were two totally different personalities, but they were both huge in their own right. And I think that's why some people are not buying into it. Like I get it, but I don't know. Like if you look at like WWE booking, right? Like what's like their comedic things that happen? Like some of their like most of them don't land. Like the only one that's landed recently has been like fucking what is it? Rated RK Bro or whatever.
Ezekiel?
Fucking that's hilarious. My favorite. That's my favorite freaking tag team.
I think so. Like for me, it's like okay, I don't see AEW do this like comedic booking often, so it's like throw it in the middle of the show. They have been okay, cool. It's kind of silly,
They did comedic for a long time actually. That's what it feels like. It feels like Danhausen is just like the new Orange Cassidy because they acquired him.
I'm okay with that. I
mean, I guess it's fine. I never got down at Danhausen. Like I said multiple times, I only remember him as the no swearing guy from Botchamania videos. That's all I knew him as. That's the only thing I'd ever seen him, and I didn't even think he was a wrestler because he wasn't dressed like one.
Yeah.
At least in the video.
But there is like more of your situation where it's like, yeah, AEW signing talent from the indies and sometimes don't do the best job in introducing them to, some of the people who are watching AEW and haven't really followed some of these scarce indie promotions.
I was on the side that you're on with Danhausen for Orange Cassidy. When Orange Cassidy was being booked silly and he didn't have any matches and he would just be there and do a couple spots, I was loving it because I knew that he was a lot better than, But
yeah, it's weird because I was the way you are about Danhausen with Orange Cassidy. When Orange Cassidy first broke through, I was fucking bored of all of his shit, and it took until his feud with Jericho,
which was amazing.
His feud with Jericho turned me around, and I was like, oh shit, Cassidy can do a lot here.
Yeah. He's good. And I bet Danhausen is too. He needs to actually have the match. Like I knew he was going to get squashed against Tony Nese. That's not because, I thought Danhausen sucked. It had nothing to do with that.
They're trying to lightly push Tony Nese right now too. So like, of course he's going to be
a monster heel. Why not let him squash the baby face of the story right now? He's the fucking mankind right now of this whole thing, right? So why not have him get fucking squashed by the dude you're trying to build as a significant threat to Hook? Because, I mean, what? Are we supposed to get fucking scared of QT Marshall? Oh, fucking shiver me timbers. Like, fucking the dude was getting flexed every fucking week and lost to Paul White, all right? I'm not scared of QT Marshall, and I'm not scared of Tony Nese yet, all right? But squashing Danhausen was like, okay, that's cool. Mainly just because I'm just not into it. But I like Hook too much for me to like Hookhausen. You know what I mean?
I do see that because I could see being a huge error in their part on the booking to make Hookhausen last too long, because then you haven't given anybody essential for Hook to beat yet. It's always been just fucking jobbers and QT Marshall and shit. So putting him,
because they're like experienced or whatever, but like at the end of the day, they never do anything. All right, let him fight Darby. All right, let him fight fucking MJF and have a promo with MJF where he just doesn't say anything, and it just pisses him the fuck off because he's just not going to talk, because that's MJF's weakness, is ignoring him. He's a perfect fit for a babyface against MJF. You know what I mean?
That's actually a pretty good idea.
That's a good idea, but they would have to wait on that because I feel like MJF's about to lose in this feud with Wardlow, and MJF needs a feud that he's going to come out on top because he can't keep taking these L's.
For show. No, I meant like.
Well, Weston, I think
he gets acclaimed.
Yeah.
And
I definitely think, but just to clarify, I definitely think Hook versus MJF would be a good feud. But
it would be a good feud. It's the same with like I thought Darby and MJF would be a great feud. They haven't built it. They build it like shit when it happened. It was like every other feud that Darby would have, except Darby lost, which kind of sucked. I thought because it's like, I'm glad that MJF beat Ethan Page in that feud. I hate to bring that up. I know I'm like going off the rails, but it kind of is relevant because I wanted that same satisfaction with the MJF rivalry, and I didn't get it. It was almost worse. Like they did it in a way that was like supposed to put MJF on this huge pedestal, but it just didn't for me. It just kind of that's a bad taste in my mouth. It was kind of like when Ethan Page threw him down the stairs in a body bag. I was like, dude, really? I like him. Why do you do that? Why did Kane push Zack Ryder down a flight of stairs? All right, I don't know. I didn't want to see that. I like Zack Ryder.
I like Zack Ryder.
Why did Triple H do the thing with the doll and the name that I'm not going to say, but everybody knows what I'm talking about, the Kane mask? I didn't want to see that. I liked Kane and I liked Triple H, but I don't want to see that.
I just want to say that Zack Ryder had one of the worst entrance songs of any WWE wrestler I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
I
mean, disagree, but...
Agree to disagree there, Weston.
This is the hot take segment. What's the worst entrance song of the episode?
Let's move on to
Cody's like, I'm done with this. Next match.
Yeah, not even a match. We're going into a contract signing between MJF and Wardlow.
Perfect. We were talking about MJF. Okay.
Before anybody says anything, I gotta bring back up how funny it was to see him come out in the jersey. I don't know why. It just that still was funny to me.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
What I thought was funny that nobody's fucking talking. I'm sorry.
I think what's really funny is that it was a customized jersey that had MJF on the back because of of course it would be. Because CM Punk was like, "Oh, I found an Islanders jersey in the trash outside. Oh, perfect. I'll wear this." Like, because again, I'm going back to the thing of like, I'm going to try and get the fans over. I'm going to steam wash this fucking Islanders jersey I found in the dumpster outside this Burger King I'm eating at. Oh, sweet. This will be great. They still prove me, though.
I'm still going to say I think he did that for heat. I do think if he would have wore a rival jersey, that would have gotten more heat, but I still think he did it for heat.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, that was hilarious. I loved that.
What I think is funny, Cody, you mentioned this, I think, last episode, or maybe the episode before. I could be wrong here. We were talking about how all of MJF's feuds have felt the same. How he's always like, oh, you got to beat this guy. You got to do this. You got to follow my terms.
Yeah.
The fucking 10 lashes, dude. Like, didn't he do that with that fucking Cody?
And then he has to fight Shawn Spears in a cage.
It's literally just like they really have copy pasted it, and nobody's saying that online, and it blows my mind that people have just seemed to have forgotten that they did the same shit with Cody.
They really nobody's posting about it?
I haven't seen a word about it, and like I think that as soon as he said the lashes thing, I was like, really? That's your terms? Like you're not even going to do anything different here? Like I mean, don't get me wrong. Every other aspect of the feud I like. I think Wardlow's been looking great. What?
You can't give him like 10 lashes with like an iron link chain or something, or like a whip.
Well,
like
no,
a
Nathan,
real
that
whip.
would kill him.
What? No, if MJF is doing the lashes, I bet they wouldn't be that bad.
Well, they would have to sell it like it would be bad, and if you're doing something heavy to set, with that would fuck him up.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
Say that. As said, a genetic freak. So.
Yeah, I think otherwise the feud's been good. You know what I mean? I picked up on that, and I was like, really? Like, and we were talking about, how all of his feuds are like a copy and paste. I'm like, that seems fucking copy and paste right there, dude. Like, what the fuck?
That's kind of more egregious.
It's literally copy paste because after the 10 lashes, which he's going to fucking endure. Don't worry. He's definitely going to endure them. He has to fight Shawn Spears in a steel cage match, just like Wardlow did against Cody.
It's just like a segment, like they didn't know what to do, and they had to fill up a week of programming thing, and they're like, "Fuck, we'll do the 10 lashes thing again." So that's the segment for that week. And it's like, what the fuck are you gonna think is gonna happen? He's gonna take 2 and start crying and say he can't fucking do it? Like, of course he's gonna take them. The segment's gonna be exactly what you think. He's gonna start fighting a bunch of fucking security guards.
Yeah, which is exactly what happened.
God, that was so funny. He fucked up.
I think it's hilarious, but I also think it's just like, okay, y'all are milking this. Like, y'all maybe should have, like, you know, maybe just don't have a segment for a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Make people want it more instead of just giving it.
You know, Wardlow's over, but like, do a segment where one of them's not there. Like, you know, like do an MJF match where Wardlow doesn't come out for some reason, or do a Wardlow thing where Wardlow just comes out and has a match, and MJF is just in the stands again, and then nothing happens. You know, just have something, just do something. Not, I mean, it's fine, I guess, because like I was gonna say, Tony Khan, I feel, has decided that we need another Messiah that needs to be sacrificed to, you know, atone for our sins in the wrestling community, and so that's why he's going to sacrifice Wardlow with the 10 lashes again. Just like he
and the whole like giant killer bullshit with fucking Shawn Spears, dude. Okay, I'm gonna put Shawn Spears against you since y'all have a little bit of history, but now we're just gonna stick this giant killer gimmick on his fucking back, like out of nowhere, and then put him on Rampage with that same shit.
I list of giants that Shawn Spears has killed, because I can tell you right now, Cody's Giant Slayer title made more fucking sense because at least he had slain 2 of them.
Yeah, like, it just didn't make any sense. I was like, y'all can't be selling that like Shawn Spears is a threat right now. Like, nobody looks at him as a threat. Like, why?
Well, especially since he bitched out, Wardlow bitched him out a couple times.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even the match with fucking Rampage, how he fought Bear or whatever. Like, dude, like, of course he's gonna fucking win. Like, don't sell him as like this fucking big deal. Everybody knows Shawn Spears is a fucking cuck. Like, I don't know, dude.
You know what? Tony and I had said this when we were talking about it before, like a while ago. I don't remember how many days ago now, but we had mentioned this. It's like, if you were going to have anybody in the steel cage that was going to be a significant threat, why didn't you let Morrissey do it? Why did you have Morrissey just be a single fucking normal match?
Dude.
Why
or Lance Archer.
Or Lance Archer even. Yeah, any fucking big guy, right? Why make Shawn Spears the final hurdle?
Yo.
It's like, yeah, get it with your friend, but why wouldn't you fucking feed it to him first?
I would
that
take,
would have been the first thing I would have done.
What's his fucking name? And I feel so bad. Jake Hager. Dude, I would take Jake Hager and Wardlow in a steel cage over.
Well, they did. Remember that MMA fight?
They had the MMA thing, but you know what I'm saying? It would at least be more interesting. And Jake Hager isn't interesting at all, so that's saying a lot.
He isn't interesting. He really isn't. He really is just, I hang out with Chris Jericho.
I'm big guy. I protect Chris Jericho.
So he goes, I rock hard. I have a boner. Have you ever heard that?
Jake.
Heard that?
Oh, no. I'm Jack Swagger.
No, both of you. Have you ever seen that thing, that video that I'm referencing?
Anytime they give him the mic, he's just like, man.
Dude, serious. Have you ever heard that audio?
No.
It was his first or second MMA win. I don't remember which one it was. It's how he got his nickname Rock Hard, and it's the most hilarious after-fight promo I've ever heard in my life. He said, and I quote, "I am rock hard with emotion right now. I have a boner." And I'm not even fucking kidding. It was the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. And the only reason I knew about it is because when the Inner Circle was doing something, they had this like breakdown sheet of all the like they would show like each member individually, and they had like the stats and their name and nickname. And Jake Hager's nickname was Rock Hard, and I was like, "What? Like a fucking boner? Like he's like Rock Hard, like a boner?" And I had to look that up and found that promo, and it was the funniest thing I've ever heard. I'm not even joking. I don't understand why he decided to go with that.
Wait, hold on.
I'm rock hard right now with emotion. I got a boner. I'm rock hard right now with emotion. I got a boner.
Dude, it's so fucking funny.
Rock hard right now with emotion.
What the fuck?
I'm hard right now with emotion. I got a boner.
That's a particularly like good farm of what the fuck? That's so.
Dude, that fucking video is so funny to me. I don't know why. This video is so funny to me.
Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. What the fuck were we even talking about? MJF.
MJF and the steel cage match and why it should have been Morrissey. Even still, you could have had, I don't remember what his name is. I'm just going to say culturally appropriate Indian Omos because I don't know what his name is. And I'm not really sure.
Either.
It's something Singh. I can't remember how to pronounce his first name.
Is it D Stang? I don't remember. Either way, big man with a man bun who wears really nice, expensive European clothes or exotic clothes, I guess. He has a really nice beard as well.
I appreciate how safe you handled that.
I'm pretty smart sometimes, I think I do my best, but no,
I big brain. My brain
sometimes gets too big for my skull, and then it hurts. But it's fine. My opinion is you needed someone better than Sean Spears for that. It's like you should have had Sean Spears fight instead of Big Cass and swap those roles, right? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why you decided to make a big man as like the pain arc. Like he was the middle of the show. It's like the middle of this whole rivalry is a sweet dude who should be on AEW full time because he's fucking awesome. And then we're just never going to talk about him again because Wardlow won. It's like leave that for the end so that way he can stay. I don't want him to be fucking Eric Redbeard. He's better than that.
Yeah.
He's better than a one-off. And Morrissey's cool, and he can fucking pick him up, and he's good in the fucking ring. He's a lot better than fucking Enzo.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well, guys,
if they were trolling, though, like if it was like they were talking about Big Cass, and then Enzo comes out, I would have been fucking so pissed. I would have Wardlow just fucking immediately just powerbombed the fuck out of him. Like, it just, oh, please. Enzo sucks.
What's coming? I can't wait for the symphony, dude. I Double or Nothing. That shit's gonna be. That's gonna be good.
All right, guys. Let's move into the next match, which I'm not gonna lie, kind of was weird and confusing a little bit. Ricky Starks versus Jungle Boy for the FTW Championship.
Whatever.
Look, the finish of it kind of got me. I don't understand why.
I don't know. I'm being completely honest.
They couldn't have Jungle Boy lose clean, so they had to pull some fucking, and that's
why
exactly
have
what
the
I
match.
Yeah, I felt like I don't know why the fuck that was even booked in the first place. I feel like there's some long-term storytelling. A lot of people were saying that Christian might turn on Jurassic Express soon.
It looked like it.
And it looks like there's some long-term story booking there, and it felt like that whole match being booked was just for that awkward post-match spot with Christian and Jungle Boy in the ring. I think they're teasing it really slowly, but I think you don't book a fucking title match around that just for him to lose. I mean, I guess I don't know.
The problem. Well, hold on, because the problem I got is I don't understand why do you have the match when you're kind of also building this weird triple threat tag dynamic where you got Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks on one side, and for whatever reason you got Keith Lee and Swerve going up having heat with Jurassic Express. So there's I guess I don't get it. Yeah. Well, actually, no. I guess maybe to even the odds. I guess so. It's not like a four baby faces on two. I don't know.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
It felt like a pretty useless segment, though. I mean, I get what they're putting down, and they're making it so fucking obvious that like you didn't even probably have to have that match in the first place. I don't have a strong opinion about it. The match was fine, though. I mean, Starks can put on a decent show, and Jungle Boy looked good through the match until that wonky finish. But I mean, it was what I expected.
That match. I don't know if I saw it when we were watching it live. I don't remember. Like I don't remember that at all.
It wasn't very memorable.
Like this is the thing is I remember watching all of Dynamite, but then I'm like sitting here thinking about it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I not remembering the CM Punk match or the fucking like? That's why I didn't say anything when we were talking about it because I'm trying to think about that match. I'm like I don't remember it.
Yeah.
It's so weird. But yeah, I find this weird whole triple dynamic thing confusing because I'm going to be completely honest. I forgot that Keith Lee and Swerve were feuding with them because I thought they were feuding with somebody else, but I couldn't remember who. And then it was like, oh wait, no, they are feuding with Team Taz, aren't they? That's so weird. What is this weirdness? Also, can I just say this quick? Can we? And this is nothing against Ricky Starks personally. This is just like a thing where I find it weird because it never. I don't know how to explain it. Just Ricky Starks in commentary is weird to me because he's in rivalries with people who have matches, but he doesn't seem like he needs to be there. He's not that great on commentary. He's a lot better in the ring and on the mic, but he's not that great on commentary. He's not like Chris Jericho.
To be fair, I don't pay attention to commentary that much.
I do just because
sometimes
he's always on commentary on Rampage.
Out, but for the most part, I don't pay attention.
Yeah, it's like he's always on commentary and on Rampage, and I don't understand why. It's like I like Taz and Excalibur because those two are fucking hilarious together. I like JR, but he's not on Rampage. But Chris Jericho is the greatest person on commentary ever. I swear
Jericho
to God,
is so fucking bombastic on commentary. He's just like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? Oh!
If he retired and just went to commentary on AEW, he would be the Joe Rogan of pro wrestling because he's literally just what Joe Rogan is in MMA, a fucking nerd for the sport.
I just wish Jericho would like turn down his character a bit when he would commentate because like I've listened to like his podcast a few times and like he has such a calm, precise demeanor when he's not in character, but he never turns that character off.
So funny though, because like my favorite example was when he was feuding with Kenny Omega, or like no, maybe he was. I don't remember exactly what it was. He was on commentary, and a dude that he was feuding with, the babyface, I think it was Kenny, but he was watching their match, and the whole time, I'm going to use Kenny just because that's easy for me. The whole time, he was just like, oh, that was such a great move by Kenny Omega, but I hate him. I don't like Kenny Omega. And it was just so fucking funny to watch him play the heel in the rivalry when he's just sucking off all of the fucking sweet moves because he's such a nerd for it. I find it hilarious. He's so great on commentary. I've loved it. But why do we need Ricky Starks, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the match was fine, but I don't know, man. I just don't really have much of an opinion. I feel like even Starks, man, it's time. I mean, they're kind of building it where Keith Lee might win that FTW championship, and I think that's what's going to likely happen. But even then, like, where do you go from there? You know, like.
Well, let's. I can tell you where we're going to go from here.
Transition. Palm clap. Library snaps. Nice one.
We are going to have, we are now at the Jericho Appreciation Society victory speech.
Oh, sweet. We were just talking about Chris Jericho. We are killing it this podcast.
I know. We're doing pretty well. Like, these transitions write themselves.
All our fucking conversations seem to just flow to the next thing. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy.
And just we're gonna flow past to the next one.
You think like my fart will like float away to you guys like in states away and just like you start smelling it from your phone?
You hated the segment that much, man?
There it is. I smell it. That's what that.
Jericho Appreciation Society is fucking boring as shit. It's Jericho's worst fucking gimmick since he's joined AEW. I'll fucking say it.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, well, see,
and I think it's a shame because Jericho's in the best shape he's been in since he's joined AEW.
It's cringe. You're supposed to hate it.
I know. It's for the heat, and I get it, but it still just fucking sucks. I don't know. It's just boring.
Because when he does something cool as a heel, y'all cheer for it. He wants you to boo him.
Yeah, they're just going for the cheap heat at this point. And, like, I get it. I get it, but I'm just not a fan.
Yeah. It does very much seem like the that whole cheap heat of, oh, we're in this city? Yeah, well, your sports team fucking sucks. Did you know that? Oh, remember when they lost last night? The Bears, boo! No, we like them. It's like, it's cheap. It's very, very easy to get.
I remember the last time the Jets won the Super Bowl. I wasn't even born.
or they say some shit about a certain beloved player that gets fucking drafted or some shit or traded or whatever. And then they, and it's a cheap boo. Yeah. They're very, very much just cheap heat at this point. And honestly, it still doesn't make sense. And that's coming from a dude as fucking Grandmaster Sexy. I don't remember what his nickname is. Mac Daddy, I think something. Mac Daddy, the Young Buck. That's what I call him.
Matt. God damn it.
Yeah, it's Matt the Young Buck. He's he's the conjoined. He's the Young Bucks if they did the fusion dance. It's the Young Buck. The titular.
Yes, we know. Matt. God damn it. Now I gotta Google it because you fucking with my head.
Matt Murdo. I think it started with an M. I know his nickname is Mac Daddy, and I find that hilarious.
Matt Martel.
Man, I don't know.
What?
Matt Martel's his name.
Matt Martel, yes.
So,
yes.
Look, what I got to say that I'm happy, though, is that they're finally putting the fucking Blackpool Combat Club in a goddamn rivalry.
Yes. I'm so sorry. I did not mention that. That shit's going to be fucking cool.
Yes,
I have to be excited about because I've been ready for it. Look, the match, the month and a half of them just having 6-mans, you know what? Great.
Yeah,
but
6 man having that one spot where they just come in.
They're called trios in AEW. But
yep, dude. Look, that's gonna be the shit. I think now it's time for the JAS to get their first big loss here because Blackpool Combat Club they're trucking on, dude.
They're gonna fucking run the company, dude.
Yeah, it hasn't lost the magic yet. Right. Like it's still just as interesting.
We were talking earlier. I gotta say this. We were talking earlier about who we were gonna say one day needs to win the title. Like, not next, but down the line. You were saying Malachi needs to win and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I have to say that fucking
Matt Martel.
No. God, I'm sorry. My brain went to shit for a sec. Give me a sec. Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta needs to win the title eventually.
World title?
Yeah. Hear me out. Hear me out. Wouldn't that be... Wait. Hold on.
No, wait. Hold on. Shut your mouth. Here's the only thing I'm going to ask. How long is down the line? How long is that?
Oh, not because, at minimum, at least a year and a half. At minimum.
I'm pushing it. I'm thinking more like 3. He needs to build.
Well, I mean, that's if we can keep if they can keep the Blackpool Combat around for 3 years.
Well, the New Day's been around for 17 and a half.
But
and look how fucking boring that shit got.
New Day, bro. They're a freak of nature.
Yeah, I know. They sold cereal.
They did, and Weston.
They sold cereal, don't you know? Yeah. I do remember that.
They sold cereal, and it was something
good.
To do
it was Lucky Charms. That's all it was. It was Lucky Charms.
It was Lucky Charms, but it had bootios.
But what I'm gonna say is, it would be the perfect long-term storytelling because the whole purpose of Wheeler Yuta joining the Blackpool Combat Club is because we were going to take a young guy and train him. Well, now you took that young guy, you trained him, and he's a world champion.
Yeah, well, dude, you could do that 3 years down the line because here's what you do. You reunite Blackpool Combat Club in the ring at his celebration. Like, they win, and the team's been disbanded for years, and then all of a sudden the fucking music plays, and the 3 of them come out all old. And William Regal comes down in a wheelchair because he can't walk anymore because he's so
how old do you think these guys are?
Cody, 3 years from now? Who knows?
You never know. It's like 20 years in wrestling?
That's a little much, but
Jesus, Nathan.
Well, I kept going back to that time we were watching hockey and those old guys came onto the rink. We were like, yeah. I have no idea where I am. It was really funny because
how great is it to be out here again? Oh, well, in 1941, I just got back from the war.
Jamaica. No, dude, it would be great. That definitely would be a sweet payoff. I don't understand, though. I think it would be better if it was like Ring of Honor World Champion, maybe. I think that would make more sense because he seems to be building like he's going over there, right?
Well, I mean, he's holding one of their titles. But,
Exactly.
dude, what I
So it's
mean
like,
is I'm
in a
not
couple
saying
years,
that soon. I'm saying down the line. The dude can be a world champion down the line.
Oh, yeah, no, but I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, you know, if you want to give him a world title, give him the Ring of Honor world title because that would make a lot of sense. And I think that would be that he would have a monster run in Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
Big time.
It's like it would be like their NXT. You know, you could because that's the thing is you don't want him to be on the Big Show yet and get like a fucking the Big Show, Paul White, the Big Show. You don't want him to get on the Big Show, flagship show or whatever, and be world champion. You know, when you're that small, it's like that's like giving Darby a championship after like next. You know what I mean? He's been on for,
That's not happening
Darby,
for a while.
you know, he's a
You
guy
just
who's gonna
you just got enough of a push going right now, you know.
Right.
He doesn't need a world down the line. Like if dude, Wheeler Yuta, I think should get a world championship after pillars like fucking Darby and Jungle Boy, or Sammy Guevara. You know, those guys deserve a world title before Yuta, in my opinion.
Don't you? You know what? We're not going to talk about Sammy Guevara till the very end because I'm very angry about that.
All right, what's next?
No, I know.
Well, let's
But
move
that's what
on
I'm
to the
saying.
next thing
It's
so
like-
we can get to that.
That's what I'm saying. That's irrelevant to what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the status of these people. They, I think, would deserve a championship before fucking Wheeler Yuta does. Like, yes, I think he could be champion, but not until not until after they've had a championship run, at least. Like, fuck, he can't. Like,
Well, let's move on, guys, because we've got. Okay, we're going to do a speed round, basically. What we're going to do is we're going to take 3 matches, and we're going to do it in one segment. We are going to talk about the 3 remaining Owen Hart Foundation tournament matches, and then we're also going to talk about a couple of the ones next week. So let's get started. We're going to talk about this Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter, Riho versus Ruby Soho, and then Darby versus Jeff. Tell me what you're thinking of the matches, man. I think they've been
All right, well, what's the first one here now?
I just named
Ruby versus Soho. I mean, no, Ruby versus Soho. Riho versus Soho. That was actually a fucking solid match. I enjoyed that more than I thought I was going to enjoy it. The finish was good too. The fact that Soho had to put Riho down like with like 3 of her moves back to back. She kept kicking out and shit. It was a good finish. Good finish. Of course Ruby was going to win that.
yeah, they're not going to get. Riho hasn't gotten a push since she won the world title, and even then her title reign was very lackluster, in my opinion. Especially when she got absolutely fucking like decapitated and murdered by fucking Nyla Rose at the end of that match, when she was like, "I'm gonna do the drop knee thing while you're suspended on the ropes," and then she looked like a giraffe for a second. You know, it looked like the game glitch when she hit that knee, and it was really fucking scary. And I felt I was like, dude, that looked like it killed her. That shot, her head is like a full 6 inches below her back. That doesn't look nice, right? Oh, poor Riho in that spot. You know, she hasn't really had a nice push since then. And granted, I hope she kind of doesn't, mainly because she had to have been injured from that, right? Like that fucking stretched her fucking neck out.
I don't know. I mean, she seemed really good in that match with Soho. I thought it was a solid match, and I'm not the biggest Ruby Soho fan either, but it was a good showing.
Yeah, but dude, like I'm saying. Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm, which also I thought it was really great. I love Tony Storm, and I actually really like Jamie Hayter too. I wish that Jamie Hayter did stuff on her own, though. I think she would be a really cool heel.
They need to break that off. They need to break that off really soon with her.
The men's division is fine. If you're going to have factions, don't have it split between genders like they have it. Like they have Anna Jay, who's in the Dark Order, and I guess fucking Julia Hart, who's in Varsity Blondes, but that's it. Like they don't have a lot of cross thing. Like factions they're either dudes or they're either girls. Like there's no, mixed thing. And it's like, if you're going to have factions, have them be mixed more, because at least that way you can have these big factions with a bunch of people in them that don't they would benefit being alone. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, everybody that's in Britt Baker's group except for Rebel. So just Jamie Hayter, I guess.
It's Reba, not Rebel. Sorry.
Ooh,
No, they
sorry.
actually say that.
Hey.
They actually say that on the show.
Careful there, man. You insulted his girl.
I honestly think, yeah, like Jamie Hayter needs to get split off because she has really good like in-ring ability, and I think she could have a decent run on her own. And honestly, the whole thing with Britt Baker has gotten really lackluster, and she still has Reba, so she could still be her manager. I don't know though. The match was fine. I don't know, man. Toni Storm, I haven't followed her a lot. And had to, just kind of look into some of her past matches. And I think that match was fine. But I'm just curious how much they're going to push her now that she's there now. She's going to be the next one.
I mean, they are booking her as if she's going to be the next big thing. I mean, she is about to be one of the top women in AEW. I think she's going to be up there with Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, Ty Conti, Chris Stratlander. Those like top 4 women. I think Toni Storm is going to be like the fifth.
On that list too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right.
The way they want us to look at her.
Well, you see, this is the problem, right? So, like, I don't know if we're going to touch this. So I'm just going to quickly say this, but like Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb, I really just feel like with Deeb, they're setting it. They're trying to sell it like she's the biggest fucking deal, and I just haven't bought into it. I know none of us have. But not only that, but the fact that, like, obviously Thunder Rosa is going to win this. This is an easy feud. You can write this off. Thunder Rosa is going to win at Double or Nothing, hands down. No questions asked. So if they're pushing Toni Storm, when is she going to face Thunder Rosa? And how do you handle that? Because I feel like Thunder Rosa's had a good championship reign thus far. She's over with the fans.
I can rebuttal you, Weston. I can rebuttal you with, how about we think about the fact that there are 2 women's titles. What if Toni Storm is the woman who dethrones Jade Cargill? Who's
for the love of fuck, please
rampant,
let her beat Cargill. Like, it's time.
Here, she's been running rampant, and they're building this megastar of Toni Storm. So why not? All right, she's got the baddies section, which is also getting a little bit of traction themselves with the fact of I think we're going to bring this up later because there's future matches, but I'll bring it up now. The whole Red Velvet versus Chris Statlander match, because
I was going to bring it up, but let's talk about it now.
The chick got injured. I don't remember who Red Velvet was supposed to be fighting. Not because I didn't know who they were. I can't remember right now, but someone got injured, and so they had Chris Statlander come in.
It was Harashida.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. Thank you. I love Hikaru Shida, by the way. That's my bad entirely. I just had a brain fart. I fucking love Hikaru Shida as well. She's up there for me. I loved her title run. But the fucking Chris Statlander payoff, right? Because I kind of thought when I saw that, it really resonated with me because I remember the dog shit Layla Hirsch, Chris Statlander rivalry that happened a month ago that just got dropped. Yeah. Literally because no one was into it.
Because, dude, right? I'm sorry. Layla Hirsch botched so fucking much, and I try not to point that shit out because I'm not a wrestler.
Yeah, I didn't buy into Hirsch at all. Yeah.
Here's the other thing. Red Velvet was part of that. She was part of that friend group, and she was in there being a bitch about Layla Hirsch, like, oh, you motherfucker, you can't fucking do shit. And then
I'll say the same thing about Red Velvet too. Like, her in-ring work is lackluster at best.
But here's the thing, right? Is all of a sudden Red Velvet was nowhere to be seen, and it was just Layla Hirsch and Chris Statlander, right? And nothing happened with that because literally the rivalry was stupid, not on Chris Statlander's part, might I add. Now they're finally paying off that fact that Red Velvet just showed up randomly as, oh, now I'm part of Jade Cargill's thing. And it's like, okay, but where the fuck have you been? Like, I guess.
Also, who the fuck cares?
I did a little bit because I like Chris Statlander.
I mean, I like Statlander. I'm talking about.
I only care specifically because I'm fine with the fact that she's gone with the best friends. And let's. I'm going to be real. On that note of when I was talking about the intergender factions and letting that be the norm and not having them so split between men and women. You know what I mean? Because it feels weird to just have like a bunch of factions of girls who shouldn't be, who could benefit better being singles. Serena Deeb is a perfect contender for someone who should be in a faction. Because I don't give a fuck about her when she's singles division. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be a better way to book her because, I mean, the crowd's even fucking dead when she comes out, so it's not just us here, evidently.
Put her with people that are going to get heat. Or put her with, if you want to book her as a super mean heel, put her with people that are going to get booed. So at least that way, even though she doesn't have heat herself, her coming out at least is getting the reaction that you want. You know what I mean? Put her with HFO or something. Put her with fucking somebody. Just put her with something that would make more sense than having her alone where you're just bringing her out to dead audiences because nobody cares.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, I like Chris Statlander. You know,
I like Chris Statlander. I like Chris Statlander.
Branching off from the Best Friends because she was really riding hard on that, train of, because that's what happens when somebody gets signed or they debut. It's like, oh, we're just going to put him with the Best Friends for months. Yeah, that'll be fine. And they'll feud and do stuff with Best Friends for a while. But then she didn't really leave them. She just showed up with her new friends. And then that didn't even really fizzle out. It just stopped. And now we're on to this now. And it's like they haven't been booking her correctly. And she could be another good star like Toni Storm is being booked. You know what I mean? Because she was one of those people where I would watch it the first year and think she's not that special. Right. And then she got injured and she was out forever. And I was dealing with the women's division. And I was just like,
came back. It was cool. Like she's so fucking solid in the ring too.
It was one of those things where it's like you didn't realize how much you missed her until she was actually injured and gone for over a year. And you're like, wow, she actually really kind of was something interesting about the women's division. And so I really am happy that she's finally branched off from Best Friends because I think she fit when she returned. That return fit for the time. And then it was like Adam Page, where it was like, oh, she's there now. What do we and then never did anything with it until she has a friend group. And then because of the fucking other person, the rivalry went to shit. And it's like, okay, so cool. Let's just put her with something else. And it's like, at least they're finally giving her something that seems serious. Whether or not she's going to actually move forward and maybe like try to take out Jade is a totally different story. Because personally, I think it should be Toni Storm, but whatever, it's not a big deal. Either way,
what was the next match?
I don't know why I was so into that rivalry because it's not really that interesting of a rivalry, but it definitely is to me for some reason.
Yeah. You handled it there. I don't know, man. It's just like, I just don't.
I get it, man. Believe me, I get it because it's. Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, guys, I gotta say. We're not quite out of the woods yet when it comes to the Owen Hart Foundation tournament because we got one more match, and then I got to talk to you about two other matches that are coming next week. Now, the match that we got to talk about, I got to say it was fucking phenomenal. It was a dream match. It was something we wanted to see for a long time, and we finally got to. I'm talking about Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy, and it did not fucking disappoint.
Yeah, and I didn't get to see it because I was busy when it was on, and I never got a chance.
Yeah, you never actually did get to go back and watch it.
Whoa, okay, hold on. Okay, first, well, let me say this then. First, you should absolutely watch it. I'm
actually upset that I haven't. Believe me, no, I want to watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Don't you sweat it.
You have ways to rewatch AEW?
Yes, we do. We do.
Okay, good.
No, it was just, I was doing something. I don't remember what I went to.
It's cool. But let's talk about it. So, Cody, you saw it.
So, all right. So what I gotta say, man, is first off, I am shocked Jeff won that match.
Yeah, I am too. Actually,
I really thought Darby was going to go over.
I did. I can't agree more. I really thought that they were going to let Darby do this because Darby again is one of those dudes who's hit a ceiling. He just they haven't been booking him past the point where he's at.
Well, the problem is with Darby, I don't know what it is. I get it because it's like you said, he did hit a ceiling. Where does he have to go? Jeff is kind of someone where I know he's at the end of his career. I think we're looking at his last maybe 2 years max in wrestling. And he wants to have as many good matches as he can. Luckily, the match with Darby was phenomenal, way better than the match he had last week. But what I am going to say is, dude, that fucking spot, man, where they jump off the ladder through the fucking chairs.
I did see that. I did see that. That was fucking
holy shit, man. Darby is insane.
There was plenty of really cool spots. I have a few thoughts on this. So like, one, I think it was more of a surprise that Jeff won it, but also I think they're inevitably teasing Darby and Sting versus Matt and Jeff, which makes sense. I mean, Matt and Sting kind of both move the same in the ring these days. Jeff, I think he has a solid 3 or 4 years left in his career, honestly. But I will say, ultimately with the match, my only disappointment was not within the match. I thought the spots were fucking gnarly. It was great. It was great. Dream match. I mean, I've talked about it forever that if Jeff ever joined, Jeff and Darby would be a fucking dream match. My thing is, I think they're setting this up for 3 matches. Here's my theory. You have this match. Keep in mind, they were only out there for fucking 10 minutes. That was not the type of dream match set up like a main event. Like,
no, that's what I was. I don't know what I was doing, but it wasn't anything special. Like, I missed it. And
it was 10 fucking minutes. The last 10 minutes of the fucking show. Here's my gripe. Here's what I think. I think honestly that's not the last time you're going to see them in the ring. It's going to be, they're going to set up a tag team match with the Hardys versus Sting and Darby, and then that's going to set up for a pay-per-view showing between Jeff and Darby for like 20 minutes. And I think, because I think that's what that you know, that's a pay-per-view match. You know, they gave us a taste of it, but I don't think that's it.
I would go as far as to say that if Jeff was going to have a last singles match, Darby would be a good contender for that.
Oh my god!
Because it's sort
absolutely.
of a classic. I'm not saying that the match that we're talking about would be his last match, but I mean down the line when he actually is going to retire, that he decides to have that Kurt Angle, Baron Corbin match. I think Darby would be a really good selection for that, because it's like you could have the best match of your career as your last match, especially with a dude who will definitely not only put you over, but will, like, you. If it's in AEW, you could have the match end in a time limit draw, and it would be the greatest 6-star match ever, and nobody has to lose.
To be frank, I think it was fucking awesome, and I think the spots were really cool. But I think they were tapering off what they were going to do, and I don't think they went on full blast because they're going to inevitably book this again. And if they don't book it again, then it's fucking insane that it was only a 10-minute match and that's it. But I don't think that's going to be the case.
It shouldn't be.
I mean, I think we'll see the match again. I have a hard time believing we'll never see it again. But yes, that
was my only thing. I thought the match was fucking awesome, but I was like, man, that was it. You know, they went straight to like the couple of spots, like as if they were trying to get the match done before the show ended.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, they run into that issue every week,
and I'm sure there was a bit of that. And like, I wanted to see more of them in the ring. You need to start it off slow and then get to the brutal shit. They did some brutal spots, and I thought it was fucking awesome. That chair spot was insane. I really did love it, but it just wasn't enough. You know what I mean? Because I feel like they can give so much more. I think they were kind of like holding off on getting too gnarly, you know?
Yeah, which could also just be because of the fact that they're going to have another match later down the line.
That's what I was thinking. It just felt like a teaser.
It's like, yeah, we have an interesting anything goes match, but it's like if it was going to be a stupid good match, they would have done some sort of gimmick behind it, so that way it's fucking insane. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I feel like they have to do this again.
Well, the
North Carolina Street Brawl, whatever.
Something
Seattle. It would be like a Seattle street fight. That would make sense.
I mean, think about it. If they do a 20-minute match, you could do 10 minutes of the whole first half. Jeff wouldn't even have to take a fuck ton of bumps yet. So he could save his body, put Darby through a bunch of shit in the first half, and then the second half, Jeff takes some damage, and then Darby fucking wins. You know what I mean? That's a 20-minute match easy.
Even then, you could mix the bumps up because Darby would take a fuck ton of bumps throughout the entire match.
That's what I'm saying. Darby could take Darby can take most of the damage, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot to like. You know, Jeff can take bumps. You know, but I do have a question though. Did Jeff Hardy hit the Swanton bomb to Darby Allin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Darby Allin had that moment of like, oh my God, that's what I'm doing to people? Oh. I had that joke prepared.
It was fucking awesome though, and I really did. I loved it. I'm not shitting on it at all. I just think it was really short, and it seemed like they were saving a little bit.
I heard reactions and heard it happen from up in the loft.
Please watch it. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. The whole time it was like being a movie theater attendant and hearing a movie that you want to watch, but you can't because you're working. So you're just sitting outside the door like, oh, it sounds so good.
You're like, oh my God, I can't believe that guy died.
Yo, here's your homework. Next week when we talk about Jeff and Adam Cole, I want to get your thoughts on Jeff and Darby. We can get your opinions on that next week. I want to talk to you about it.
My opinions are probably going to be the same as yours. Like, that's the thing. I love Jeff Hardy and I love Darby Allin. I've wanted this match forever, and I was really upset that I missed it. And I'm even more upset with myself that we're recording the podcast and I still haven't seen it yet, because I've been wanting to see this match forever. Like, since then I saw Darby Allin for the first time, I was like, oh my God, he's literally like Jeff Hardy is. Like, I felt that same feeling I felt when I was a kid when I saw young Jeff Hardy. Like, wow, that's the coolest guy in the world. And I felt that for Darby Allin, because it's like, he's cool as fuck, dude. I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before, but my favorite spot that I've ever seen him do, and it was a bump he took. He was going to do a coffin drop. It was the Cracker Barrel Classic, which they've never done again, and it was amazing when they did it. I loved it so much. And it was him and fucking, oh God, what's his name? The dude, oh God, he's not in AEW anymore. He was another hardcore dude. He used to staple people's foreheads. That was his whole Jimmy Havoc. That was his name, Jimmy Havoc. He's in like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Havoc is not in AEW anymore, and he was laid out on the steel steps. Jimmy Havoc was, and he was going to do a coffin drop, and he grabbed the barrel from the Cracker Barrel, thing. They had a barrel with the Cracker Barrel logo on it, and he put it up to his back, and he went to do the coffin drop, and Jimmy Havoc moved, and the barrel just collapsed underneath him, and he took it right onto the steel steps. And I was like, that was the coolest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. That was amazing. I'm just like obsessed with them ever since, or at least until Malachi Black joined AEW. Then it was just like switched completely on a fucking dime. It was just like, but Malachi Black's here now, and he's the coolest fucking thing that ever has existed. So I'm not even going to care anymore about that. But no, that match I've wanted to see for a while. It's an amazing match. It's almost like I want to see Darby and Malachi too. Now that I mentioned Malachi Black, I would like to see that match. That match would be fucking sweet.
I would want to see it, but I would want Darby to win, which is fucked up. That's why you can't do that match right now, I don't think.
I know that would have to be when Malachi Black has established himself to the point where he can lose. If that would happen, it would be like Cody Rhodes.
Way after the push. Yeah, definitely. That would be a fucking match, though. Absolutely. That's the cool thing about AEW, man, is the amount of fucking talent on the roster. And people shit on fucking Tony Khan for all the fucking signings and shit, but honestly, like, you have such an ability to make creative matches throughout, a whole year with your fucking roster you have now. And I can't say that for, many times in WWE, because I feel like sometimes the booking just is so fucking questionable. And I'm not trying to be that guy, but it's just like, man, I don't know. That's why I love watching it week after week, because even if half the show is shit, like there is always like really interesting booking going on for the most part. Like sometimes predictable, but
predictable. I've gotten to the point where it's very predictable for me to watch AEW, but the fact is that it's still entertaining. Even if there's parts that are boring. Whereas with WWE, I was bored all the time, just wanting excitement. You know what I mean? And that's my opinion too. I'm not saying that it is.
Of course.
That's they like it. That's cool. Whatever. I'm not wishing anybody to be failing when it comes to wrestling companies. When I watch AEW, I feel like a kid again. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like I did when I watched WWE as a kid, or even when I watched TNA as a kid. The few times that I watched it before it became Impact. It was one of those things.
Yeah, it reignited my love for wrestling for sure.
Yeah, dude, me too. Like I was into WWE, but it was only specific things. Like there were things that I was into, and then they would never pay off. Like Shinsuke Nakamura being WWE champion against AJ Styles, beating AJ Styles at WrestleMania. You know, I wanted that, and then he did Braun Strowman running a train on the tag team division, and then not being able to keep the title.
Don't get me started on that.
And scared. They're still scared, and they won't do it. And you know who's not scared? AEW probably isn't scared to do that. If Adam Shearer wanted to go to AEW and do that, I bet they'd let him, because Tony Khan isn't scared to do that.
He can stay with control your fucking narrative or whatever the fuck they're called. As far as I care. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about Braun Strowman.
He can stay in a sweaty basement with EC3 and the rest of those guys.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, Nate,
fucking circle jerk.
Well, look, Nate. Next week, you need to go watch the Jeff Hardy. You need to go watch.
Look, we are talking about this next week.
Let us know your opinion next week. But here's what we need, guys. Not only that, next week, we're gonna see 2 matches with the Joker.
Oh, I know.
So here's my question: Who is gonna be? So I need to know, who do you think is going to be the Joker for the men versus Samoa Joe, and the women versus Britt Baker? It is Britt Baker.
Okay.
Yes.
I have no clue, man.
I have talks. Okay, let me talk. I know I've been talking a lot the past few matches, but this I've been thinking about actually. Okay, so if you think about it, Samoa Joe, if we were, I know we were talking about it, like one of them probably is going to be a big signee and the other one's going to be a return, right? I don't know who it could be. I know that's so weird because I built up this huge like explanation, but I have no idea. It's really strange to me because like any of them,
they really got me. They really have me like,
because it's like I thought about it. It's like, oh, what if they're both a big signee, but almost that wouldn't make sense. But the only person I could think of would
all
return
of a sudden Morrissey shows up.
Yeah, again, it's like, oh, great, we get to see you again. That was a big.
My problem is this: I can't predict it, and I think that's really cool that I can't fucking predict it. But then again, Tony's good with New Japan. Tony's good with ROH. He's good. He's pulling all these guys from the fucking indies that I'm worried these jokers are going to be fucking people I don't even know or care about. I'm a little worried it's going to go that route instead of something cool that I want it to be, like Wyndham or
Wyndham.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I wish it was Wyndham. But listen, here's the point I was getting at.
I didn't want to say Bray Wyatt.
Because, listen, all right, the fact is the people that they're against are a little bit like Samoa Joe is someone who doesn't need to win this tournament, right? So if you're going to have a new signee, you would want that person to at least go past the first round.
Which is probably going to happen. Yeah, because Samoa Joe has a title. He's not worried about that right now.
So
right, he's got a championship. Samoa Joe is someone who could be facing a new signee. And Britt Baker is in a position where she could be like she could continue onward, but at the same time, it's like it's one of those things where who would return? You know what I mean?
AEW booking thus far has been pretty friendly to anybody who's new. Anytime anybody debuts, they're fucking winning. You know what I mean?
Right. See, that's my point. Is like we've been saying it's either going to be a new signee or a big return. Who's going to return from either?
Okay, so guys, I got it. I know exactly what I think. I know what's going to happen. It's going to be a signee for the men's, and it's going to be a return for the women's because Britt Baker and Toni Storm have to happen in the tournament. They're building it to happen.
Yeah.
So here's where, you got to think. I think that the Joker for the women is going to be a big, kind of somebody from another promotion who's going to come in to have the match, and they have a one-off.
Maybe a legend or something.
You're right. You're right on the money, man.
Like fucking
I'm
Melina
making a prediction: Britt Baker versus Mickie James.
Yep.
Oh, bad. Not bad.
I'm going to say Britt Baker versus Mickie James. The other one I'm going to say, I'm really confident on this. Well, not confident, but I like this one. It's going to be Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's going to lose. Samoa Joe versus Cesaro.
Oh, shit. Is his 90 days up?
He can't get bookings. That's what the word going around is because he's too expensive.
Wait. But hold on. But a lot of people have been saying that he's AEW bound. Is his claws up?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Dude, oh my fucking god, I did not think about that. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be Cesaro. I was gonna say just like as a wild prediction to throw in there that Omega doesn't just randomly show up at Forbidden Door, but actually shows up at as the Joker and beats Samoa Joe and sets up a match against Samoa Joe for like whatever title at Forbidden Door, or some shit like that, or like a Double or Nothing, because obviously there's not, you know, the full card of Double or Nothing yet. So I feel like there's going to be some more matches that are going to definitely, you know, be announced. They're going to be, you know, high card type shit. But man, Cesaro really does sound like a fucking good one there.
It is a good idea. I still am holding out the prayers and hope that it's going to be Wyndham, but it's not going to be Wyndham. I
know, man. I really want him to show up already, man, because they could set up some good shit with him in AEW.
I don't know if it's just that, like, I know that he's not like
he's doing like movies.
I just want him to wrestle again. He was so good, and he's so cool. He's like Malachi Black in that sense of like, if you gave him control of his own creative, the man can be like anything that he wants. Oh, dude, I
feel like he could even do more than Malachi Black. I'll go as far to say that.
God, dude, the way that he took and performed with things that they gave him was incredible. I mean,
can you imagine Wyndham going to war with the House of Black?
Oh my God! It
was like
I would love to see Wyndham in the House of Black. I would be real. I would love for Wyndham to be their fourth, because that's someone where if you wanted to have Kings of the Black Throne, you could have Wyndham be your world title guy and have Murphy fight for the TNT title and do that whole we own all titles thing, because that's a big enough star that if you were going to have a fourth to be your singles competitor, oh my God, yeah, that's the dude. That's the dude.
I've always said, like, I mean, I don't think they would do it at this point, but I used to say a lot that, like, have him show up and then lead the Dark Order. Like, make the Dark Order, because I mean, you know, they were like brothers. So if anybody could lead the Dark Order again, it could be him. But I don't know, man. I would love to see him return, but it everybody says it's pretty much not going to happen. But then again, you know, it could be best kept secret too. You know,
Punk said that he was never gonna. He was not gonna be at fucking All Out or whatever fucking show that he was supposed to return at. Or that he did.
But the crowd knew it. The crowd still knew it, though. It's still like the, you know, you had all of like the reports that snuck through.
That thing where he said he wasn't going to be there. You know what I mean? He was that day or whatever. He came out with that the week before. You know what I mean? The people will deny all they want, regardless of rumors or regardless of anything. You know, because at the end of the day, if everybody believes he's not going to come back, that's the perfect time to come back, because nobody's expecting it. Except for people, fucking dumbasses like us, who are like holding out hope with our single match in a dark room.
Every fucking time. Remember at the remember when we were watching Supercard of Honor after everyone? Oh, and Wyndham's gonna come out right here.
Every fucking match. I can feel it. He's gonna be here. We were like freaking out.
What the fuck are you talking about? This is the women's match.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie though. For real, Samoa Joe versus Cesaro would be the shit.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that would be great.
Not only an awesome match and a fucking killer return, but yeah, man, Cesaro on AEW, fuck. And he's so deserving of that tournament if he would show up. He deserves any fucking recognition he could get, because he never fucking got it in WWE.
He's good. He's good too. I wasn't huge on Cesaro, but I know that he's really good in the ring. I liked the bar. I liked the tag team. I thought they were cool.
Cesaro just never got the proper fucking run. And he deserved it, man. He's a guy like Pac. I put him and Pac in the same category of just like, they are fucking technicians, and just like, I don't know, man. There's just an excellence of their in-ring work that nobody else can touch, but they've just never gotten the proper push, you know?
I totally feel that.
Oh, dude. Okay, we're gonna go into the next match, which is the match I really want to rage on. But guys, okay. So much like when we recorded last week, I had Backlash on the TV. Well, we're late recording on Monday, and I'm putting Monday Night Raw, because as we're recording this, Raw just started, and I just saw the most pretentious thing I've ever seen in my life. It was a countdown. It was a countdown. Do you want to know what the countdown is to?
Rhodes.
What?
You were right, Nathan. Cody Rhodes. Not a match, just the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes countdown.
Yeah, it was there's only two people I could think of, and one of them is banned from WWE right now. So yeah, I would assume it was Cody Rhodes that was going to have a countdown to just him coming to the ring.
It's not even like he's returning. It's him that week. It's an hour and 55 minutes until Cody.
You know
they have
what's
to
so
add
funny? Dude, you know what's so fucking funny though? Here's the greatest part, Cody. I also had a feeling because for some reason it was either this morning or yesterday. I saw it on Twitter. Somebody had tweeted out that they just haven't seen Cody lately and that he has already fallen off at WWE. And I was thinking, like, I don't think that's true. And of course, they have a countdown to just him coming to the ring to cut a promo. Which
I don't even know if it's to cut a promo. It's just Cody. It just says to Cody Rhodes.
Oh God,
that is so
you might be
stupid, dude. What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying, dude. I hated Cody Rhodes when he was in AEW, especially around the end. It was like, dude, you're such a pretentious timer.
Dude, how much time is on the timer though?
It was well, it's gone now. It was like they were going through what's going to be on Raw, and that was just one of the things that popped up. It was like 1:55, an hour and 55 minutes.
Oh God, that means main event. Mid-show.
No, not the main event. You wish Raw was only 2 hours.
Only 2 hours. I might watch it if it was only
no, because they did it last time too. I noticed they did it last week. They fucking made a big point to say Cody Rhodes is going to be here at 10 o'clock. I think they're trying. I think the problem is
I wouldn't watch that shit if it was an hour long.
Perfectly on time.
I think the problem is fans don't want to sit. I think they know Cody Rhodes is the biggest reason fans want to watch Raw, and they're not going to. They'd rather they're not going to sit through Raw to watch everything. So they'd rather just tell you when Cody Rhodes is going to be on. Yeah, we may only get the views for this one segment, but at least we get the views.
Oh no! You know that they did that because they were like, Rampage is on at 10 o'clock, so we better make sure to have Cody Rhodes on at 10 o'clock. So the people who don't like AEW or the people who love AEW but would rather see Cody Rhodes, they can come watch it on SmackDown.
Well, it's Monday,
dude. He could be on either show. Who fucking cares? It doesn't fucking matter. I don't pay attention to anything.
I guess. But anyway, all right. So sorry, I had to bring that up because I was like, I am not saying something that's stupid while we're recording. Okay, so the next match is the match I'm going to rage on. I'm going to go first because I have a lot to say. It is Frankie Kazarian versus Scorpio Sky for the TNT title.
Right.
Oh my God. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Frankie Kazarian, it basically was like, I want to face Sammy Guevara for the title. Scorpio Sky, no, man, I got unfinished business. If you let me take care of it, I'll make sure you get your match. And he got his match. And then all of a sudden, they're in the back, and you listen to Dan Lambert and them cutting a promo, and you can tell, oh, shit, they're back to being heels. And then Scorpio Sky's like, nah, man, y'all take the night off. I'm going to do this alone. And you're like, whoa. And then you go out and they have the match and it's pretty good. Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti are sitting at ringside for some stupid reason. Why the fuck in a company that doesn't like to have rematches for the championship are we pushing a third fucking match between them? But
after we had a trilogy.
Huh?
After we already had a trilogy last Rivalry with the title with Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah, we had all that shit. But this is where I'm confused. The guys come to the ring and beat the shit. They fuck over Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky didn't know that, and he's like, "Hey man, did you help me win? You're damn right I did." And then for some reason, Scorpio Sky's pissed, and I'm like, "Oh shit, are they gonna break up Man of the Year?" Because I was like, that would make sense. No, then Scorpio Sky turns on Frankie Kazarian, then saying he's a heel. And then Sammy Guevara jumps into the ring and he saves fucking Frankie Kazarian. So now he's a face again. They did a double turn again and it doesn't make any fucking sense. And I know some jackass is going to be like, oh, well, they don't do heels and faces in AEW. Shut the fuck up. Yes, they do. And even if they fucking don't, that type of week by week fucking character changes makes no goddamn sense.
Cody,
Get out of my car now.
Okay? And I'm the one who would say that there's no face and heel in AEW, so
yeah,
get
fuck you.
No, like I completely agree with you, honestly. I think it's fucking dumb, dude. Like, first off, like you made Men of the Year fucking face because the crowd was you leaned into it because the crowd was against Sammy. Okay. But they weren't gonna work as face, so you made him heel again. Okay. Cool. They're fucking heel. But then yeah, that whole finish was just so like stretched out and made just to try to pull off like an extra swindle or some shit, but it was fucking stupid. It was fucking stupid. And I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about Men of the Year. I don't give a shit about Scorpio Sky. I don't give a shit about Ethan Page. I don't give a shit about Sammy. I'm ready for it to all be done.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like it, but at the same time, I don't like what he's doing right now. It doesn't make any sense.
dude, I feel like I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one who sees this. But does it feel like from the time Sammy Guevara got the title till now, the title almost got itself watered down? Like, yeah. Sammy Guevara, don't get me wrong, has put on great matches. He's a great wrestler. But the story and the way they've booked him make no sense to me as a... I'm not even, just as a consumer, as a fan. It doesn't make sense to me.
None of it makes sense. It doesn't make sense.
You booked a dude for 6 months.
Randomly. I have said this multiple times that the TNT title the past couple months has been passed around more than the fucking World Heavyweight Championship was at the end of WCW's reign. There have been so many fucking matches and rivalries that have gone nowhere. It seems it's redundant. It's so watered down at this point. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And none of it has made sense. It didn't make sense when they made Cody a triple champ for no fucking reason at all, except for just to
immediately lose it and then leave to go to WWE. Why? Yeah. So he can look and say, oh, look, I dropped the title on the way out. You had to win the title on the way out to drop it on the way out.
Yeah. I think also, I think that's where Sammy lost his real good title run. Like, I think he had potential to have a really good title run, and I even think the interim championship was kind of stupid. But even the final match that they had for the ladder match with Cody and Sammy, Cody's last match, I actually thought was really. It was a good fucking match, and it was probably I think where it all went downhill that night. Sammy's title reign fucking ended, because the way he was booked from that point on was shit.
The title reign ended when he had 2 belts. It's like if Cody lost Cody got injured or got COVID, but if we're talking kayfabe, if Cody got injured, he should have vacated the title like every other fucking champion in wrestling. This isn't the UFC. Okay, yeah. We don't need an interim title. Okay, and it didn't make any fucking sense. And also, apparently, Ring of Honor had an interim title as well, which again didn't make any fucking sense. And then Cody, Sammy Guevara was walking around with 2 belts, and it didn't make any fucking sense because they were the same belt, except one seemed a little less quality than the other. And even then, it still couldn't really fucking tell them apart. They were both fucking basic. And Dan Lambert still carries around the other TNT title belt, even though
it was just so dumb.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, get rid of the fucking interim title. It's not a unified belt just because you added another one. All right, it's the same belt. They're the same just because you got it.
If they wanted to postpone a match, they were gonna have a match, and then 2 months later they were gonna combine them. Okay, that makes sense. But you had an interim title and then the unification in a matter of a week.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, they're the same belt. They both are suspended high from the ring. How about you just have the original one hanging from the ring and being like, you could have done the thing where Sammy won.
How about a number 1 contenders match?
Because he's like, that's the toy belt. I'm ready for the real one.
And more than anything,
all an interim title is a fucking number 1 contenders belt. Let's be real.
Yeah, but honestly, fuck that title. Dude, why the fuck?
If you were gonna bill it like this, because again, it's a UFC thing. Literally, it's an MMA thing to have an interim title. You would be, you would be fucking your champion is injured and couldn't fucking defend, so you keep him the champion because he didn't fucking lose it, because that makes sense. It's fighting. But in wrestling, if you're gonna bill it that way, at least bill it like the UFC does, which is they get the interim belt and they go, I don't want this fucking toy belt, I want the real shit. He didn't even do that. He fucking cradled it like, oh, this is my championship. It's like, dude, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's an interim title belt. Stop treating it like it's the goddamn AEW world title. All right? You shouldn't be wearing it. You're not a unified champion, undisputed TNT champion. I have 2 TNT belts that are exactly the same. It's like, dude, get the AEW title and then fucking tell me you're the undisputed AEW champion. That I'll fucking believe. They're 2 separate fucking belts. Like, dude, I fucking hated that fucking interim title shit. And that's probably because I'm an MMA fan, and that pisses me off because they should. That's the one thing that shouldn't be in wrestling that is in MMA besides the cage fights themselves. Sorry, Jake Hager versus Wardlow fans.
Man, we need to start opening up with Rampage because like I hate ending these podcasts on such notes of like me not giving a shit, but that's just kind of where Rampage is at lately, and that's typically where they throw it.
I mean, dude, I agree, man.
Because like it's just another episode of me ending on like, man, this portion of the show fucking sucks, and I don't give a shit. And it's like there's so many interesting ways I can say I don't give a shit, but I just don't give a shit, and I don't give a shit about Scorpio Sky with the title. I think. The dude is great in the fucking ring, but his promos are fucking stale, and I don't know. I don't buy into him that much, and like I feel like Men of the Year is getting fucking stale to me. Like the whole section of that show, I just don't give a shit.
Because like we're wanting the Spectre back to the TNT title, and Scorpio Sky is saying that he's going to do that, but we're not buying into it anymore.
It sure hasn't looked that way from the start. Like he can turn it around. He just got the belt, so let's see. But like as far as everything so far, it's been fucking.
But it looks like we're just going to see Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara again. Like that's what it's looking like, and I don't fucking care.
That was the whole thing with Sammy and Ty running into the ring. As soon as they made that clear that they were in the audience watching that, I was like, oh my god, are y'all really going to keep going with this?
Yeah.
When does this fucking end? The crowd's not into it. They're dead. They're booing all of the fucking segment. The whole fucking 10 minutes they're out there, they're getting booed. All of them. So why the fuck do you keep pushing this on, Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't.
I could let it go, except there's a title.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off. There are so many other rivalries right now that can happen that are way more
interesting, not with the fucking title on the line. Just take the title away from all of them. Keep them off of TV.
Why? I'm not even saying any. I don't know. Just why is there more effort put in to fucking? I feel like Malachi Black and the House of Black rivalry makes more sense.
Yeah, like absolutely. Like the problem here is like exactly what you were saying. How they keep, changing their character off and on, face and heel.
The back-to-back double turn makes no fucking sense.
The writing is panic writing because they don't know what the fuck to do, and they're trying to get the crowd. They're trying to get the crowd to like tolerate it and enjoy it, and nobody's enjoying it. And what you do at that point is you fucking press the reset button. Keep them off of TV for a few fucking weeks until after Double or Nothing, or like put them on fucking Rampage and singles matches. Like just don't basically kill this fucking storyline. Just nuke it.
What?
Fucking nuke it.
Do what WWE does. Do what WWE does when they've had a heated rivalry that they want to end. Okay, you fucking have Sammy Guevara go out, cut a promo saying, you know what, I've been trying, one day I'm going to regain and become a 4th-time TNT title, and then somebody's entrance music hits and a guy comes out and basically they're saying, fuck you, you're a bitch, or whoever. You
just nuke the storyline and do something different.
All you have to do is just have somebody come out and start a new rivalry with Sammy Guevara. If you want to have Frankie Kazarian versus Scorpio Sky, that's fine, because that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's actual story there. There's history there.
Yeah, Sammy shouldn't have even been part of that segment on Rampage, and the fact that they're going further down that rabbit hole is just so upsetting, because like it's the blemish on their product right now. Like, I have my opinions about other talent. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of like Jade that much, but she is at least over. It's me not being that much of a fan. That's what that is. But with they're booing the entire fucking segment when they're out there. So evidently that's not working, and you have a really good product on your hands with this shit stain on it. So like, fix it. Nuke the fucking storyline. Let them all do something different. Yeah, keep fucking Frankie and Scorpio as a thing. Separate Scorpio from fucking Men of the Year already, because Men of the Year is not getting over at this point. Like, people are over it. Like, and you're not going to take Scorpio Sky seriously.
First off,
huh?
If you decide what you want to do first off, when it comes to if he's going to be a face, then yes, 100% separate him.
No, separate him anyways. Make him a fucking heel against Kazarian, but separate it anyways, because it would be a better fucking rivalry if you don't have Dan Lambert and fucking Ethan Page in every fucking segment.
Dude, even better yet, just separate Men of the Year from American Top Team and let American Top Team
That's
go
what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right, fuck, I'm so sick of hearing Dan fucking Lambert, who literally is a fucking nobody in the MMA community anyways. All right, fuck American Top Team.
Gained good heat at the start, but now the segments are just fucking boring when they're involved.
All of those fucking fighters are fucking washed. All right, I watch UFC. All right, and I don't see any of those American Top Team fighters on fucking UFC. It's because they're washed. All of them fucking are not fucking top tier fighters anyway. I'm not fucking.
They do the same thing when every fucking failed UFC star does. Is when they're too fucking old or can't fucking actually fight. Oh, let me fuck with wrestling now, and then I'll get acted. They'll treat me like I'm a fucking big deal. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Dude, I don't even fucking Paige Van Zandt is someone that I could not give a fuck about in the UFC community. All right, because I was fans of people like Amanda Nunes, who would have beat the ever living fuck out of Paige Van Zandt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no contest. There are people who are better than them, and I'm not fucking into it. All right,
and you can't make them out to a threat because they're in the wrestling world and they fought in UFC before. Nah, that means nothing.
Yeah. All right. Oh, cool. Jorge Masvidal is in attendance, and he hopped the barrier and did a running knee strike to Jericho. Wow. That totally doesn't
Cain Velasquez is going to fight Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel?
Yeah.
In his first ever WWE match for the WWE
title? Wow.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's like, I don't care, right? It totally doesn't overshadow the fact that you guys failed in UFC because you suck, all right? Like,
too old
fucking
to compete. Like Ronda with the fucking title, dude. I can go on a whole fucking thing about that, but that's the most uninteresting fucking rivalry going on in all of wrestling right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Fucking Men of the Year.
Dude, I'll watch Sammy and fucking Scorpio Sky wrestle again before I would watch Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey.
Dude, actually, no, you're absolutely right. Good sir. Fuck Charlotte Flair. I fucking hate Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is so awful. Thank you for bringing her up.
I need to get like a little bell to ring every time you say that, so every episode I can hit a little ding.
We're gonna have a countdown.
She's so fucking like not good.
All right, guys, we're an hour and 50 minutes.
She's gone. She's gonna get married to Andrade.
Didn't you say it was like an hour and 50 until Cody Rhodes? Well, we're an hour and 50 in the podcast. We'll just start it off and be like, we're an hour and 50 away until Nate says fuck Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, really.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I hate to end it on such a bitchy note, but yeah, that whole rivalry.
Hey, we're wrestling fans. Boring. We're supposed to hate the show.
Yeah, the storyline. I think it's the biggest blemish on AEW's programming right now, and they just need to fucking nuke it. Move on.
Dude, to me, when I'm watching that and I listen to anybody talk mad shit on WWE, I'm just like, dude, let me show you this. Y'all aren't better.
Yeah, right. It's like, dude, I gotta hand it to you though. I will say, I would rather watch this than when we were watching that sweet bachelorette party thing for a couple weeks ago.
You will bring that up every fucking week, won't you?
I'll bring it up any chance I can when it needs to compare to something, dude.
Because you just want to say, come on, guys, we got a bachelorette party to crash.
We got a soiree to crash. We have to go crash this bachelor party. It's like, dude, I don't fucking care about you.
Well, again, what was bad about it was they were clearly backstage, but they made it look like they were coming out of a club.
Like, wow, we're coming out of this super expensive club that's really quiet in this hallway.
That's really a closet.
Dude, it was literally like a fucking little door that they had set up in the back.
They got one of the security guys from the building to just stand there. Hey, we need you to stand here real quick.
Be a bouncer. Here's a clipboard. Here's a pen.
Yeah.
This guy's a bouncer. He's totally not wearing a WWE staff.
And then they had the most they had the stupidest fucking just segment where they were all fighting in the bar, and then Archer's like, "This is a beautiful moment. There's a wedding, and you know what? We're gonna have one next week on Raw. Yay!
I'm a reverend," or whatever he says. I'm a pastor. I could marry people, so I'm gonna marry you. It's like,
and then Tamina, for some reason, swapped them all around that made no goddamn sense, and they never okay.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie, man. That whole fucking I'll never forget of just, come on, gang, we got a bachelor party to cut. Just
dude, that whole shit made me almost give up wrestling completely.
Well, that was pretty much the last thing we were gonna cover, huh?
Yeah, that was about it, man. That's that's another week of the.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna just sit back, hit my bong, and have a good cry about that whole rivalry later.
Hey, you know what, man? Don't cry. Be excited, because you know what, man?
I really I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with Scorpio Sky in that title, man. I don't know. I
say ride it out. But fucking just step
please
away
do
from
something
this.
different. Please
Get away from this.
But it doesn't look like they're gonna
and fucking just for whatever, if you have to have a tag match, I know they have to have a tag match. So do your tag match. Either fuck up Sammy and send him off, but just get Sammy away. Do your rematch with Frankie Kazarian and then move forward.
I have holds up light bulb an idea. Okay? I have an idea.
Okay.
Right? I think if they're gonna have a tag match, and this may be a very obvious idea, but it's an idea nonetheless, and I think it would be very over, and it would be a way that they wouldn't have to separate Men of the Year, and that is if you reunite SCU, because SCU was very fucking over for some stupid ass reason.
Yeah, which I don't understand either.
Because their whole gimmick was, wow, this city sucks and your sports team sucks because it's not Southern California. And I didn't get it. But I can tell you right now, if fucking Christopher Angel, right? I can remember his name. Christopher Daniels. Sorry, I'm a fucking idiot. Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. If Christopher Daniels shows back up in one of those spots, right? That's why it didn't make sense that it was fucking Sammy. It should have been Christopher Daniels, right? It should have been him, because that at least makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
If they're going to build anything for a tag team where they're not going to break up Men of the Year and Scorpio Sky is still going to be champion and a heel, at least bring Christopher fucking Daniels into it. All right, because at least then I can have something to wrap my head around, something to sink my teeth into, to be like, okay, I can start to get behind this match, because I remember seeing the three of them. There's nothing there. There's no sustenance. There's no nutrients. All right, there's nothing to nothing to gain from anything that they're doing with the TNT title right now. And granted, there are a lot of times where that happens. I have a feeling they just wanted a fucking mid-card title and didn't know what to do with it, because they put all their time booking the AEW World title, which even lately has been lackluster, but that's not because of the title, it's because of the champion. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I feel like that's a good stopping point for us, man. That's another week here on the I keep wanting to say Heel Turn Podcast, but it's not. It's the House of Marks.
The H is getting you, man. You getting
I'm going through dementia, bro. I'm almost 30.
Yeah, man. We're gonna have to talk about this, off air. But I do certainly want to start covering Rampage maybe earlier on, because if they keep booking it like they are, man, Rampage has just really been kind of poo-poo lately.
Well, what I like I said, what I want to do
for sure. It has been species.
Like I said off air, what I want to do, if we can if stuff on Rampage was on Dynamite, like
Yeah, I like that.
connect the
Dude,
two.
I realized
of course.
Talked about everything on Rampage.
It's a weird way to kind of like go through the waters of it, you know what I mean? Because they have so much secondary booking on Rampage, but then again, they have little things that tie into what's going on Dynamite, and
Right.
I'm not necessarily happy with the way they handle it, but yes, I do agree with you. I do like the way we covered it today. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been an episode. We're 2 hours in now, so thank you if you've been listening. Honestly,
Yeah. Thank you for people who listen.
any final thoughts
Nobody.
here, guys?
Oh, yeah, I do. I have one. Fuck Charlotte Flair.
Ding. Okay, Cody. Anything?
Yeah, I think Nathan needs to actually do what he promised and give real abortions and not clone the fetuses. That's very wrong, Nathan. You know,
Dude.
that is not what.
Dude,
Bro,
or should we talk about?
what?
What?
Bro, dude, women should have a choice.
They should. And they should choose not
Yes.
to go to your abortion clinic. You will only make it worse.
Yeah. And as they should. They shouldn't come to me.
You're not even licensed, I bet. Are you a licensed abortionist?
I don't know.
Did you go to abortion college?
Can you have a license if you're running out of a back alley?
Oh my god.
All right. And Weston, what do you have to say?
Yeah, do you need a license if you're running out of your grandfather's basement?
All right.
I was kidding.
Don't
Good
worry.
episode,
It's-
guys. This has
Nobody
been House of
listens to
Marks
this. We can't get
podcast. Yeah,
canceled.
to all two of you that listen, thanks. We're gonna keep doing this, and we're gonna keep putting our opinions out into the metaverse, if you will. And yeah, see you next week, next Tuesday on the House of Marks podcast. It's me, Wes here.
It's Cody.
Peace.
Later on, you guys.